At Port St. Lucie to Know Your Police Officer with Port St. Lucie Police Department. Real special guest here today. Officer, you want to identify yourself?
Yeah, I'm Officer Rafael Rodriguez, and I've been with the department 3 years. Previously, I was with the Florida Highway Patrol as a trooper, and I came to the city of Port St. Lucie because of all the great benefits and opportunities that we provided for me, and the amount of growth that's expected in the city is just ample opportunity for me in my career.
So you were with FHP for how many years?
I was with FHP for 5 years.
5 years. Was it a tough change to leave what you know and what you were comfortable with at the time to make that leap? I mean, what made you decide to leave FHP?
Any kind of change is difficult, regardless of what you're doing, and it was a learning curve, but I was starting a family, and the opportunities available with the Highway Patrol were limited due to geographic locations, and I wasn't willing to move, and this was the next best thing. And my family is rooted here. They love being here, and I grew to love the city. I was a transplant from 2003 because my dad was in the military, and I graduated high school in Ramstein, Germany, so I was fresh on this city, and I just grew to love it, and I wanted to help protect it.
You speak German?
I can say Ein sprechen Sie Deutsch.
Ein sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yeah, that one. I got it. Yeah. Or Nein sprechen Sie Deutsch. I don't speak.
You don't speak it. Well, that's good. So, is there a big difference between Florida Highway Patrol and for PSL? Did you have to take a different academy, or were you able to just transfer here right from that organization?
Simply a transfer, because I am a Florida certified police officer with the Highway Patrol. They do have their own academy, and they did a agency specific training, but ultimately at the end you are a certified police officer. And it was, I wouldn't say simple, but I simply applied for the department here in Port St. Lucie, and they did their due diligence and blessed me with the opportunity to work here with the city.
Excellent. Well, you're an asset to us too. I just want to let you know.
Well, I appreciate that, Sarge.
Well, it's the little things in life. So, did you always want to become a police officer, or is this just something that you thought of? I mean, what did your father do in the military? Was he an MP, or?
Initially, my dad was a part of the 82nd Airborne, where they jump out of airplanes and go into combat zones. So I always found that interesting, but I never really wanted to be a cop, but I always played cops and robbers as a kid. And, growing up watching TV shows about superheroes, I always imagined myself as a hero to help people. And when I went to college at the University of Central Florida, I got my bachelor's degree in business administration with a concentration in marketing, and there were no jobs out there. And I was talking to my dad, and he said, why don't you try law enforcement? And I kind of gave it a thought, went on the website to the Florida Highway Safety of Motor Vehicles, and 8 months, it was probably more like a year later, FHP called me and said that I was approved to go to the academy, and that was in 2010. And 8 years later, I'm here patrolling with the city. I have 2 young children. My wife's a teacher. So any of those stereotypical boxes, they're all checked.
Yeah. So your career path, you're already a field training officer. Is there other areas within the department that you want to do? I mean, obviously, if you're looking to progress, field training officer, and then probably sergeant at some point.
I would like to be promoted to sergeant, given that opportunity. I am also interested in going upstairs to the Criminal Investigations Division and kind of hone my skills with some of the crimes that occur in the city, and brush up on skills that have diminished or gain some new ones, because in life, both professionally and personally, you go through certain things, and you take what tools are provided for you, and you put them in your tool belt, and you use that for the future. And that's what I want to do, is gain as much knowledge as I can from people I deem knowledgeable, who I consider mentors, and emulate things that they do well and incorporate it into my own philosophy. And I've done that most of my life, and it's done pretty well for me. You know, we're entering into a career that is an unknown, and they always tell you that you learn from failures. Those are their best teacher. And unfortunately, sometimes a failure in this profession means you're not going to go home. And that's always something that strikes everybody, whether it's you about to go to work, or your wife, or your kids, or your mom or your dad.
Well, do you have any words of wisdom for somebody who's looking at becoming a police officer or wanting to apply for Port St. Lucie? Because looks, you know, we are hiring now, and so there are opportunities out there for people who want to choose this as a career. Anything you want to, tips or hints to give anybody?
Tips or hints, no. I'll just tell you what people told me when I applied. This is regardless if you take the opportunity to apply with us or another agency. You don't do this job to get rich. You don't do this job to be thanked. And that's something that strikes a chord with me, because this job is thankless. And not to say that people are unappreciative, but when you take the time to do selfless acts, you don't do it to be thanked. You do it because, number one, it's the right thing to do, and number two, that's the type of person you are. So those things don't pertain to you, and you hear that the money's good. Money isn't everything. Money's not going to make you happy. If you don't love what you're doing, then why are you doing it? And it all just comes down to passion. And with that passion grows hunger. And with everything in life, you get out what you put in. Whether you're an athlete, a scholar, a professional in regards of business, you get out what you put in. And I think that's true for police officers especially, whether it's firearms training, the defensive tactics, physical training, or just knowing the law.
Thank you, Officer Rodriguez, for letting me ride along with you and letting the residents of Port St. Lucie take a ride and have a snapshot of who you are. We'll see you next time on Know Your Police Officer with Port St. Lucie Police Department.